Hello everyone, this is Lance. Today I'll be doing a video to teach Singapore Mahjong players to learn Riichi Mahjong or Japanese Mahjong. So online you can find a lot of videos that are beginner guides for Riichi Mahjong, but there has not been a video which specifically teaches Singapore Mahjong players to learn Riichi. So hopefully we fill that gap. But we can't cover every single thing in this video, right? So we are only trying to cater to those who totally do not know how to play Riichi Mahjong at all. But we'll assume that you have some knowledge in Singapore Mahjong, okay? And if you are interested to find out more, we'll leave some links for you so that you can do more research on your own. Okay, so Riichi Mahjong became popular because of anime such as Saki and Akagi. Yep. And we actually have a community of Ritchie Mahjong players in Singapore. Yep. And we have clubs in universities such as NUS and SMU. Yep. So if you do learn how to play Ritchie Mahjong, do not fear that nobody will play with you, because definitely we have a community of players ready to play with you. Okay, so the first thing you need to do to set up for Riichi Mahjong is to remove all the animals and flower tiles. We don't need them. Okay, and if you do the math correctly, this leaves everyone with 17 tiles in their own wall. So everyone should build a wall of 17 tiles. There's no more 19, 18, and so on. Actually, this is easier to remember, right? Yep. So as just like Singapore Mahjong, Riichi Mahjong is played with 4 people most of the time. I mean, there are variants that allow you to play with 3 people and so on, but we'll just concentrate on the main type of Riichi, the main 4-player Riichi Mahjong. Okay. Okay, so similar to Singapore Mahjong, the dealer will roll the dice, but instead of using 3 dice or rolling twice, in Riichi Mahjong, the dealer will only roll 2 dice once. Okay, and then we'll open the wall based on the dice. Okay, so the game moves anti-clockwise, drawing of tiles exactly the same as Singapore Mahjong, and you can 吃, 碰, 杠, etc. everything the same. Okay, but Riichi Mahjong is always shooter pay. Means that if you are the one to 放炮 and feed someone, you are liable for all the payment. No one else will pay except you. Okay, but if it's a 自摸 win, everyone pay. Okay, then if you have been following some of our live streams, okay, be it online games or live games, okay, then you should have seen that our Ritchie discards, we actually discard them quite neatly in rows of 6. Okay, it shows the order of our discards as well as the discards that we have made lah. Okay, so this we'll talk more about this later. Actually helps you to read other people's hands sometimes. Okay, the chips that we use in this game, okay, we have uh 4 different kind of point sticks. Okay, the first one with the 8 dots, okay, this is a 100 point stick. Okay, then the one with a red dot, this is a 1k stick. Okay, the next one is a 5k stick, and the last one is a 10k stick. Okay, these are the 4 standard sticks that you will find in a Ritchie game. Okay, sometimes they have additional sticks, such as a black 500 stick. Okay, but that is not a standard stick, so we didn't include it here. Okay, so every player will start with 25,000 points. Okay, so you will have actually 110k, 25k, 41k, and 10 100, and that makes up 25k. Okay, your starting chips. Okay, there are also rules that start off with 30k lah, but usually we start with 25k. Okay, so when calling 吃 or 碰, which as Singapore Mahjong players you should be familiar with this, okay? But what's different in Ritchie Mahjong is that we turn the tiles to reflect which player the court tile came from, okay? And this is important. Later I'll explain why it's important. Okay, there's something called Furitan. I'll explain this later. Okay, so if you 吃2万 from your 上家, okay, in Ritchie we call the 上家 kamicha, okay, so you will put the 2万 on the left of the set and turn it towards the left. Okay, actually all 吃s are from the kamicha, right? So you always turn it to the left. Okay, so do not arrange it as 1, 2, 3, because if you turn the 2 in the center, it means that it comes from the opposite player, which doesn't make sense because you can't 吃 from the opposite player, right? Okay, then this 二筒, okay, is since we put it in the middle, it means that we 碰 this from the opposite player, okay, 对面, or we call it 对门 in Riichi. Okay, the 南, if you 碰 from 下家, okay, the player on the right, or Shimocha in Riichi, okay, then you position it, you turn it towards the right, okay, and all calls in Riichi Mahjong must be clearly vocalized. So you have to say 碰 and you have to say 吃 even if it's from the player on the left. Okay, so this is Ritchie Mahjong etiquette. You have to voice all your calls clearly. Okay, the next thing you need to take note of is the Dora. Okay, so if you watch our Ritchie games, you'll see that there's one tile that's upside down, right? So every time we start a game, we roll the dice and we break the wall. Okay, we actually turn the third tile of the dead wall. Okay, we turn it upside down, and this tile is known as the Dora Indicator. Okay, so next slide I'll talk more about the Dora. Okay, so this game has no animal and no flowers, right? Okay, so how to increase your hand value, we'll look at the Dora. Okay, so based on the Dora indicator, you will be able to tell what is the Dora. Okay, if the Dora indicator is a numbered tile, like 1 to 9, okay, then the Dora is the next tile in the soup. Okay, so if the Dora indicator is E1, then the Dora is E1. If the Dora indicator is 91, then the Dora is E1. Okay, so let's say the Dora indicator is E1 and the Dora is E1. That means that for each E1 in your hand, it is worth 1 extra tai, or we call it 1 han in Ritchie Mahjong. Okay, but you cannot treat this as the license like in like the animals and flowers in Singapore Mahjong. Okay, on top of this Dora, you still need to have a Yaku, or what this means a winning pattern, okay, such as Ping Hu and so on, okay, or Ritchie, which I'll talk about later. Okay, so what if the Dora indicator is a 自拍? Okay, then if it's a win, like 东南西北, then you will go in the order of 东南西北. Okay, so if 东 is the Dora indicator, 南 is the Dora. If 北 is the Dora indicator, then 东 is the Dora. Okay, so you think of it, let's say it's 东风 and you 碰 the 东, so straight away your hand is 1 tai for the 东, right, and 3 extra tai for the Dora, so you straight away have 4 tai. Okay, what about the dragons red, white and green? Okay, so if the Dora indicator is 红中, then the Dora is 白板. Okay, if the Dora indicator is 白板, the Dora is 红中, and then it repeats lah. So if the Dora indicator is 红中, if the Dora indicator is 发财, then the Dora is 红中. Okay, so it goes in a circle. Okay, this might be a bit difficult to remember. Okay, but someone taught me this before. If you want to remember this correctly, you can think of the 成语, okay, 不分青红皂白, right, 青红白. Okay, then you remember the order of the red, white, green Dora indicators. Okay, let's talk about some of the common lingo in Ritchie Mahjong. So 吃, we say chi in Japanese. Okay, 碰 is pon. Okay, 杠 is kan. Okay, sounds around the same. 听牌 is 10牌. So who from other players we say Ron. 自摸 we say 自摸, which sounds around the same. Okay, 炸呼 is chombo. 安杠 an kan. Okay, 明杠 is 明干. And the one below, sorry, the thing is blocking. Okay, fun or tie. Okay, we call it han in Japanese mahjong. Okay, I mentioned this a few times already. Okay, then some terms that are in Ritchie mahjong, maybe you're not familiar if you only play Singapore mahjong. Okay, Yaku is a winning pattern that awards han. So in Singapore mahjong, we like to say got license already. Okay, so that's Yaku. Okay, Furi 10, I'll explain this later. Uradora, this one I'll explain later also. Okay, it's a special type of Dora. Okay, Aka Dora is on top of the Dora indicator that I explained just now. Okay, we sometimes play with red Dora tiles. Okay, so like one like the 武硕, 武同 and 武万 they will be red in one of each will be red in Riichi Mahjong. Okay, and these are additional Dora that adds to your hand value. Okay. Okay, Kan Dora. Okay, I'll explain this later. Okay, let's talk about Ritchie, which is the name of the game. So honestly, if you are new to playing Ritchie, right, this Ritchie thing is really very very cool. Yeah. Okay. So Ritchie is how many. If you're unfamiliar with the game, Ritchie is how you will usually get your Yaku. Okay, or your license to win the hand. Okay. Okay. So if you are tenpai with a closed hand, meaning that you 门清 听牌, okay, you can choose to declare Ritchie. Okay. So this Ritchie, right, straight away gives you Yaku. Okay, allows you to win the hand, and so it adds one hand to your hand as well. Okay, so just like in Singapore Mahjong, if you 暗杠, okay, you are still considered 门清, so you can still call Ritchie. Okay, so like this hand 听牌 for 8-1, right? So you can declare Ritchie. Okay, so I'll talk about the process of Ritchie declaration. So first you declare Ritchie. Okay, so you really shout Ritchie. Okay, then you take the irrelevant tile. Okay, and then which in this case is 1, right? Okay, so you discard it, you turn it 90 degrees. So you discard it perpendicular to the rest of your discards. Okay. Okay, then the next step is to place a 1000 point stake on the table. Okay, so this is a deposit you have to make. So if you win the hand, you can take it back. Okay, if someone else wins the hand, you actually lose this 1000 point deposit. Okay, so Ritchie sounds cool like you can really shout and like has so much energy, right? But it comes with certain drawbacks so if you lose, your stake gets confiscated. Okay. Okay, so what happens after you declare Ritchie? You must discard every tile you draw, so you can't change your hand anymore. Okay, unless you 自摸 or someone else throws your winning tile, you can say Ron. Okay, and you win the hand. Okay, you can 暗杠 if it doesn't change your weight or hand shape. So in this case, like this hand, you can 暗杠 Dong. Okay, but this idea of changing your weight or hand shape is actually very complicated. I don't want to go into too much detail in this video, but if you are very interested in the game, okay, and you want to find out more, you can contact me. I'll elaborate on it for you. Okay, if you win the game, win this hand that you declare Ritchie, okay, you can actually take you see this Dora indicator 三所, right? Okay, let's say you Ritchie and win because you run this 5-1. Okay, what you can do is you can flip the tile that is below the 三所. Okay, this is called the Uradora Indicator. Okay, so you can actually open additional Dora for your hand if you Ritchie and successfully win the hand. Okay, so you can look at the tile below the Dora indicator and open an additional Dora indicator for your hand. Okay, sounds very exciting, right? Okay, so benefits and drawbacks of declaring Ritchie. So the good thing is it gives you license to win, right? The Yaku. Okay, adds one tie to your hand. Okay, you get additional Dora. You get to look below. Okay, and you actually declare to everyone that you are tenpai, ting pai, right? So you can actually use it as a scare tactic because everyone knows that you are tenpai. So if their hand is not very close to waiting, okay, they can choose to defend because why would they want to anyhow discard tiles when you already think pai, you already tell the whole world you think pai, so they might be forced to play more defensively lah, so you actually scare them to break their hand. Okay, yep. Okay, so some drawbacks. Okay, your 1000 Ritchie deposit might be lost to the player who wins the hand. Okay, and your hand is locked, so there's no more room for defense. Okay, then you also cannot choose someone to target. Okay, so like the first person who throws your winning tile, you have to run him. You cannot say you skip this person and then you take from someone else. Okay, I'll elaborate more on this later. Okay, let's talk about gang. Okay, or kan in Riichi Mahjong, but if you say gang, everyone will understand. It doesn't matter. Okay, so in Singapore Mahjong, you gang, you straight away collect money, right? You get instant money and instant gratification. Okay, but in Riichi Mahjong, you don't straight away get money, which means that it's not that beneficial to declare gang so carelessly lah. Okay, but the gangs are still the same. You can gang, you can 大明 gang. Okay, means you have three and you take from someone else, or you can pong already then you 加 gang. Okay, and you will put the like we mentioned just now, you will put the gang tile based on the player you got it from. Okay, okay, so you don't collect money, right, for your gang, but you increase the Dora. Okay, so let's say the first Dora is the Dora indicator is 3-1, so the first Dora is 4-1. Okay, so if you gang, right, the next tile can be open as the kan Dora. Okay, each gang you can open another Dora indicator. Okay, and then you draw a tile from the dead wall. Okay, and you think about it, for each gang that you make, you open one additional Dora, right? For players who Ritchie, they can, if they Ritchie and win the hand, they can check each of the tile that below all the open Dora indicators. Okay, so if two people gang, okay, that means that the person who Ritchie and win can check 3 tiles below for additional Dora. That means he has a total of 6 Dora indicators. Okay, get the idea? Okay, so usually we bring down the Winshan tile, which is like the tile you draw when you gang. Okay, we'll put it down so that is because we don't want to accidentally topple it lah. Okay, yeah, and the dead wall must always have 14 tiles. Okay, because in Singapore Mahjong we say 7个半, so we end the hand when the dead wall has 15 tiles left, but in Ritchie we end with 14 tiles left. Okay, so if you gang, right, the dead wall will become shorter and shorter, so you got to take the live wall and add tiles to the dead wall, same as Singapore Mahjong. Okay, okay, by the way, you can only gang 4 times because after you gang 4 times, there's no more tiles left to draw already. The you can't draw the Dora indicator. Okay, so depending on the rules that you play, usually okay, if you play online, the fourth gang will declare a draw. Okay, but if you play the standard competition rules, okay, they actually don't allow the fifth gang, but the game continues, so the rule might vary a bit lah, but logically you can see why you can only gang 4 times, right? Okay, like the total gang by all the players on the table. Okay, okay, let's talk about the free 10 rule. Okay, this thing is something that beginners might find very hard to deal with. Okay, it doesn't exist in a lot of mahjong games. Okay, Taiwanese mahjong has this thing called 过水. Okay, it's similar. Okay, so let me explain what is free 10. So you are free 10 as long as you discarded one of your weight before. That's why arrange our discards nicely in front of us. For example, you look at look at this example. This player discarded 三锁 before, and then now he's 单调 三锁, right? Okay, so he's in free 10. That means that he cannot win from other players. He can only 自摸. Okay, ignoring the fact that this is a very stupid example, right? But you get the idea. You cannot win from other players if you have already discarded your winning tile before. You can only declare 自摸. Okay, you can only win by 自摸, but you can declare Ritchie even if you are free 10. Okay. Okay, let's look at the next example. So, this player is waiting for 一四七筒, okay, and he has discarded 一筒 before. Okay, that means he's free 10, and he cannot win on any of the winning tiles 一四七筒. He cannot win them from other players. He can only 自摸一四七筒. Okay, he's allowed to declare Ritchie though. Okay. Okay, then the next idea of temporary free 10, this is a similar idea to Singapore Mahjong, so this should not be something new. Okay, so in the same turn, if someone discards your winning tile, okay, and you missed it for some reason, and then the next person throws your winning tile, okay, before you draw a tile, okay, you are not allowed to win from the second player. This is the same as Singapore Mahjong. Okay, if someone throws your winning tile, you cannot win, and you didn't see, or you purposely don't want to win, like you want to 破自摸, okay, then you cannot win until you have drawn a tile. Okay, if you call Ron while free 10, you will chombo, means 炸胡. Okay, so the temporary free 10 thing is something that exists also in Singapore Mahjong, so nothing new to most of you. Okay, if you declare Ritchie, okay, and you didn't run one of your winning tiles, okay, like let's say the example on the left, okay, you Ritchie waiting 四七锁 and someone discarded 七锁 but you did not run, okay, now you cannot win the both 四锁 and 七锁 from any other player anymore. Okay, you are in permanent free 10. Okay, so you can only 自摸 if you have skipped one of your winning tiles. That's why I say one of the drawbacks of Ritchie is that you cannot choose to snipe a certain player, because once someone discards your winning tile and you skip it, you cannot win from other players anymore. Okay, free 10 will include tiles that have been pong or 吃 by other players or 杠. Okay, so like in this case, this player on the right hand side, this player discarded E1 and he got pong. Okay, and he's now waiting for 1471. Okay, but he's free 10 because he's discarded E1 before. That's why you see why we turn the tile to reflect who it came from. Okay, and now he cannot win 1471 from any other player. He can only 自摸. Okay, let's talk about draws. So just now we said that the war will end with 14 tiles. I mean the hand will end with 14 tiles in the dead wall. Okay. In Singapore Mahjong is 7个半 with we have 15 tiles left. Okay, in Singapore Mahjong, the person who draws the 海底 tile does not need to discard, right? He can 自摸 海底, but he does not need to discard it. In Ritchie, you draw the last tile, you must throw. Okay, you can throw something safe lah, so you don't feed other people. Okay, and then we have to. Okay, so in Singapore Mahjong, once the hand ends, you don't care whether you think pie or not, right? Just move on to the next hand. Then we look at we think about, oh, did someone 杠 or not? If someone 杠, we move the dice down to the next dealer, right? Okay, in Riichi Mahjong, whether you think pie or not, it will actually make a difference. You actually get payment in the form of stakes, right? If you are in 10 pie, okay? If you think pie. Okay, so once the hand ends in a draw, all the players, they will open their hands. They open their hands if they are in 10 pie. Okay, if you Ritchie already, you must show that you are 10 pie. Okay, if not, it means that you fake your Ritchie and therefore you 炸胡, right? Okay, so cannot anyhow call Ritchie. I know it sounds very fun to shout Ritchie and then you throw the Ritchie stick. Okay, but you really have to be tenpai, if not you get exposed and then you zahu. Okay. Okay, so all players who don't think pai, right, they can close their hands. Okay, and payment will go from those who are not in tenpai to those in tenpai. Okay, but if you are in tenpai and you never declare Riichi, right, you can choose not to declare tenpai. Okay, why would you do that, right? I'll give you an example. Let's say it's the last hand already. Okay, and if you declare 听牌 you actually have to 调整 连庄. Okay, so you actually strategically, if you have already won the game, you choose not to 听牌 so that you win the game. Okay, so the players who not in tenpai, they will pay a total of 3,000 points to those in tenpai. Okay, so let's say one person in tenpai, right, the three other players pay 1,000 each to him or her. If two players in tenpai, so those two that are not in tenpai, they pay 1.5k each. If three players in tenpai, the poor soul, the last person, have to pay 1k to each of them. Okay, then example. Okay, so in this case the opposite player, the 对门, okay, he's 听牌 tenpai. One on the right, Shimocha, also tenpai. Okay, so two players tenpai, right? That means that um the two players, okay, you and the one on the left, okay, you have to pay 1.5k each to these two players. Okay, so there's a total of 3,000 points exchange. And since there's a player who called Ritchie, okay, don't know whether you can see there's a Ritchie stick on the table. Okay, this Ritchie stick, it stays on the table, and you will be okay, if someone else won the hand, he would have taken your Ritchie stick. Okay, but if nobody wins and it ends in a draw, right, this Ritchie stick remains on the table, and in the next hand, whoever wins the next hand can claim this Ritchie stick. Okay, so Ritchie, so as I've said, Ritchie sticks stay on the table. Okay, then if it's the last hand, then the Ritchie stick gets confiscated lah. Okay, then if the dealer not in tenpai, then you just move the dice, okay, to the next person. Okay, so the change in dealership does not it's not based on whether got gang or not. Okay, if the dealer is in tenpai, then he get to 连庄, okay, or we call it 人参 in Riichi Mahjong. Okay, then he will put a 100 point stick on the table to indicate that he 连庄 once. Okay, so for example, you see this picture here, right? There's 300 sticks and 1,000 stick. So this 1,000 stick is from the Ritchie in the previous hand, and this person has 连庄 3 times. That's why there's 3 honba on the table. Okay, then for each honba, the next winning hand is increased by 300 points. Okay, so each time there's a 连庄, you win a hand, right? The hand, you actually get extra points for winning the hand when there's a 连庄. Okay, so in this case there's 3 honba, right? So if you win a hand, you get 900 points extra as well as the Ritchie stick. Okay, let's talk about 平胡, okay, or 平夫in Ritchie Mahjong. So just like in Singapore Mahjong, the 平胡is still 4 sequences and 1 pair, and similarly the pair can be a 大牌, okay, 几牌, but it cannot be something that gives you a tie. Okay, so cannot be your own win, cannot be the seed win, I mean the round win, and cannot be a 中发牌. Okay, but what is different is that the 平胡must be a 2-sided weight which completes a sequence. Okay, so just like in Singapore Mahjong, you cannot 单调 your 平胡, you cannot call Kalong. Okay, but in Singapore Mahjong, you can still 自摸 Kalong and call it 平胡, right? Okay, not in Ritchie Mahjong. Okay, there are some other differences. I'll elaborate more on this in the next few slides. Okay, the next thing is that your 平胡must be close, means must be 门清. Okay, you cannot 吃 tiles and still call it 平胡 in Ritchie Mahjong. Okay? Okay, so the first example, you're waiting for 581. This is a valid 平胡 hand and the hand must be 门清. Okay, the next one is 1471, so also valid. Okay. Okay, so next few examples for invalid 平胡 in Ritchie Mahjong. Cannot wait for 边张3 right? In Singapore Mahjong, you can 自摸 and say 平胡, but in Ritchie, it's not considered 平胡even if you 自摸. Okay? Cannot be Kalong 6 Okay? Okay, the next one is two-sided, right? Is 3-6 所. So in Singapore Mahjong, you can actually win from other players and still call it 平胡. Okay, the third example. But in Ritchie Mahjong, this is actually not a 平胡 hand. Okay, you need to have the eye ready and you are calling for the sequence. So if I were to change this hand to 3-3-4-5 所, that is a valid 平胡 hand because you are waiting to complete the sequence 3-6 所. Okay, if you have the 眼睛3 所 already or the 6所眼睛, then you can treat the 4-5 as the sequence to be completed. Then it's a 平胡 hand. Okay, so the very last one, although you are waiting 3-6-9 so a very nice hand, right, in Singapore Mahjong, but in Ritchie Mahjong, this is not considered a 平胡 hand even if you 自摸. Okay, basically cannot be 单调 also, even if it's 2 or 3-sided. Okay, so a few more examples. Okay, in this case, you are waiting for 1471. Okay, if you are waiting for so you think of it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, then the 4 is the 眼睛. So if you win 4 or 7, this is considered a 平胡 hand. Okay, because you treat the 5-6 as a sequence. Okay, but if you win on the 1, this is not a 平胡 hand. Okay, why? Because if you win on the 1, this is actually a 单调. Right? There is no other 眼睛 already. This 1 is your 眼睛. Okay, so winning on the 1 is not 平胡. Winning on the 4-7 is 平胡. Okay, so if you didn't call Ritchie and you try to win 1, okay, you actually 诈胡. You commit a chombo because you have no license to win the hand. Okay, this is the Yaku that we have in Ritchie Mahjong. Okay, so what we call the license, right, in Singapore Mahjong. Okay, there's a lot, so I will not go into detail for every single one. I'll run through. If you want illustrations, right, actually Wikipedia shows all these hands very, very clearly, so you can go there and take a look. Okay, just Google for like Ritchie Mahjong, then you'll be able to find on Wikipedia. Okay, the first one, Ritchie must be, okay, close means must be 门清 open means you can like 碰吃 and so on and 杠. Okay, so Ritchie already talked about this. Okay, what is 一把子? It means that you Ritchie already, and then before you draw a tile, someone discards your winning tile. Okay, or you Ritchie and then you straight away draw your winning tile. Okay, all this you get 1 extra tile. Okay, or han, we call it Ritchie Mahjong. Okay, double Ritchie means you Ritchie in the very first turn, so you get 1 more han for this. Okay, that means you open your hand, you straight away 听牌 already lah. Okay, then 门清自摸 Singapore Mahjong have so don't need go through. 平胡, I've thought about this for the past few slides already. Okay, 一背口. Okay, this is must be 门清 one. Okay, what this means is like, for example, you have 1231, 1231. Okay, so a repeated sequence in the same suit. Okay, another example is like 456所, 456所. Okay, that is for 一背口. Next one is Tanyao. Okay, Tanyao is like the Ritchie equivalent of 臭平胡, because whenever our hand sucks, we do 臭平胡, right, in Singapore Mahjong. Okay, in Ritchie, we do this thing called Tanyao. Okay, the principle is totally different. So what is Tanyao? Tanyao means that your hand cannot have 大牌, so 东南西北中发牌. Okay, your hand cannot have 大牌 and cannot have any ones or nines. Okay, your hand will only contain tiles from 2 to 8. Okay, so whether you are 门清 or not, this is always 1 hand. Okay, Yaku high means the 中发牌 and your seed win and the round win. Okay, this one you should be familiar. 抢杠上 and high di. All this you should know. Okay, the last one, this one would be new. Okay, because in Ritchie Mahjong we have to discard the very last tile that we draw, right? And someone can win on this discard. Okay, so you have to pay 1 extra hand if you feed using the last discard. Okay, okay, 七对 is a house rule in Singapore Mahjong. Not everyone play. This one obviously must be a 门清 hand. Okay, so this is 2 hand. Okay, and if you play in Singapore Mahjong, it's usually 2 tile also. Okay, the next thing 一致 this is 1 to 9 of the same suit. So like maybe 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 so. Okay, so if you got 碰 or 吃 before, there is this 1 hand. If it's 门清, it's 2 hand. Okay, okay, 三 shoku. Okay, 三 shoku dojin, or we just call it 三 shoku in short. Okay, this is the same sequence in the 3 suits. So like for example, 1 2 3 锁, 1 2 3 通, 1 2 3 1. Okay, open hand 1 hand, 门清 2 hand. Okay, Chanta is the opposite of Tanyao. Okay, Chanta means your hand only got all your hands involve 大牌 or ones and nines. Okay, so 1 2 3 7 8 9 is okay, or you can 碰 the 1 9 and so on. Okay, so this is 1 hand if open, 2 hand if 门清. Okay, 对对胡 you know. Okay, 三 shoku doko. Okay, it's like for example you 碰 6 1 6 锁 6 通. Okay, this is always 2 hand. Okay, 三 is like 3 concealed triplets. Okay, so usually okay, so 3 concealed triplets, so like basically yeah, it's just what it means lah. So you got 3 triplets hidden in your hand. Okay, if you 杠 3 times, you get 2 hand. Okay, this is the next one is 混 老头. Okay, or we call this 混 This exists in Singapore Mahjong. Okay, but in Singapore Mahjong the rules have warped the idea of all terminals and honors. The rules in Singapore Mahjong have warped this already. Okay, in Singapore Mahjong nowadays, they are 混 they are 半 right? They must have both 1 and 9 in the hand. Okay, like you must 碰 1 and 9. Okay, but by right, Mahjong rules are not built to be like this. Okay, to get this 混 老头, right? Your hand is a mixture of 碰 of 大牌 as well as ones and nines. So even if your hand is like 碰 通 碰 锁 and then 碰 3 大牌, right? You can still get this 混 Okay, so it doesn't have to be both ones and nines in your hand. You can be only 1 or only 9 and a mixture of 大牌. Okay, and this will be mixed with another 2 hand for either 碰 or 七对. Okay, then 小三元 you should know, but in Ritchie is 2 hand, as in basically 4 in total lah. So you plus 2 plus 2 lah, so 4. Okay, the next one is rampeiko. So it's like just now I said like 1 2 3 1 right? Okay, you got 2 different types of this kind of formation. So like 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 and then 7 8 通 7 8 9 通. Okay, then next one is 半色 you know, like everyone know, right? 半色, but here is 2 hand if open, 3 hand if 门清. Okay, the next one is Jin-chan. Okay, Jin-chan is all your sets involve ones and nines but no 大牌. Okay, 人胡 means the first the dealer discard the first tile and you win. Okay, usually most of the time we don't play this. You have to check with the host whether they play this or not. Okay, this is the 地胡 in Singapore Mahjong. Okay, so it's a bit different, the terms that we use in Ritchie Mahjong. Okay, the last one 清一色 everyone know lah, everyone's favorite hand in Singapore Mahjong, right? Okay, so that is 5 hand if open, 6 hand if 门清. Okay, next thing we look at Yakuman. These are limit hands. Okay, the hand in Ritchie can go up to 13. Okay, this one straight away goes to the limit. Okay, so 天胡, okay, everyone knows. Okay, 地胡, this 地胡is different from Singapore Mahjong. This 地胡means you are not the dealer, but you 自摸 on your first discard. Okay, and the next one is this 13 offers is 13幺啦。Okay, 九连宝灯, Singapore Mahjong by right should have lah. Okay, if you're not sure, you can go and check online. Okay, 四暗克 means pong pong with 门清. Okay, then 四杠 or this is called 18罗汉 in Singapore Mahjong. Okay, 绿色 means only got 2、3、4、6、8 and 发财. Okay, because it's all green in color. Things like 五 actually have red inside, so not counted. Okay, 青老头, okay, or this is 青幺九 lah. Okay, so your hand only pong 1 and 9, no 大牌. Okay, 智一色 you know, 大三元 you know, okay, 大四喜小四喜 you know. Okay, we'll move on. Okay, scoring is extremely complicated in Ritchie Mahjong. This is the part where I think a lot of you will become lost if you are learning Ritchie for the first time. So it will be good for you to either play online first and see how they count for you, how they count your hand value online, or you play with experienced players who teach you how to count at the start. Okay, but first thing you must count how many han your hand has. This is the one that is quite simple. It's like counting your tai in Singapore Mahjong, right? Okay, another thing you should know is that the dealer, okay, the dealer actually is a double-edged sword. Okay, because when you win, your hand value is 1.5 times of the normal value. But if someone 自摸, you got to pay twice of the non-dealers. Okay. Okay, so this is a scoring table. Okay, it looks extremely complicated, right? Okay, so okay, the left hand side is like all the dealer scores. The right hand side is all the non-dealer scores. Okay, that's why you see on the left the values look bigger, right? Okay, so if your hand is 5 han and above, then it's very easy to settle. Okay, like for example, if you're not dealer and you win 5 han, then you get 8,000 points. Okay, from the person who discard to you because it's shooter pay, right? If you 自摸, the non-dealer pays 2,000, the dealer pays 4,000. Okay, the dealer has to pay more, and this adds up to 8,000 also. Okay, so 6 to 7 you get 12,000, 8 to 10 you get 16,000. Okay, so I reiterate, the score below this is what happens if someone discards to you. The one on top is the 自摸 value, the 自摸 payment value. The dealer is the one who pays double. Okay, then the dealer scores are bigger, so you see it's actually 1.5 times of the non-dealer scores. Okay, so 5 to 11, as a beginner you should know these scores. Okay, if your hand value is not so big, so it's between 1 han and 4 han, right? Okay, then this is complicated. Yeah, so you have to calculate the mini points, which if I go through this now, okay, you will be totally lost. So I think you should read about this online and then like maybe practice counting yourself. Okay, then when you get used to it, then you'll be able to get the scores very quickly. Okay, so I'm coming to the end already, so you can find out more by reading Wikipedia will have pages on the Ritchie rules, okay, the possible Yakus, okay, and they give you very good examples, like they put pictures of tiles for each Yaku. Okay, so it's very clear. Okay, and the scoring, so like the scoring table just now, they'll teach you how to count the smaller hands. Okay, so you can go and take a look. Okay, all these links I'll put in the description, so easier for you to access. Okay, so you don't need to Google. Okay, I'll put the official rule book by the World Ritchie organization. Okay, then if you want to play online, I'll leave links for you for Tenho and Mahjong So. Okay, what's the difference between these two portals? Mahjong So I feel is more casual. Okay, if you want to play for fun, you can go for Mahjong So. Okay, for me, I always play Tenho, and if you watch some of my live streams as well as my co-host Wesley, he also plays Tenho live streams. Okay, then we'll play here lah, because the players here are usually better and more serious. Okay, and I would also like to link you to the Singapore Ritchie community. Okay, so join our community, meet new people, meet like-minded people who love to play Mahjong. Okay, um, but if you join this Singapore Ritchie community, right, the emphasis would be more on playing competitively, playing seriously, and not so much about gambling. Okay, so if you want to play Ritchie to gamble, that is okay, but we don't do this officially. Okay, we try to promote Ritchie Mahjong as a competitive sport. Okay, so if you want to gamble with Ritchie Mahjong, you go ahead and do it, but we do it privately. Okay, yep. Okay, so I hope that this video has helped you Singapore Mahjong players to learn how to play Ritchie, but this is not everything. So if please do look at some of these links and then try out, maybe play online if you cannot find other people who play Ritchie. Okay, so try out, and then if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, or maybe yeah, just leave a message. I'll get back to you very quickly. Okay, so hope that also because we started this channel with the motivation of trying to promote Ritchie Mahjong, and we branched out quite a bit to attract Singapore Mahjong viewers, but also we want to help Singapore Mahjong players learn Ritchie Mahjong so that you can appreciate different types of Mahjong. But actually I also know other types of Mahjong, so our channel will actually branch out in the future. Okay, okay, that's all. Thank you everyone for watching, and hope that you learned something. Thank you so much. Please subscribe and leave a like. Bye bye.